Okay, everybody, so welcome back. This is Ian. It's the 30th of June, 2022, right about 6 o'clock p.m. And as some of you know, in our little private group, cohort, community, we're building a new brand. Uh, it's called Contrabrand. It's sort of like a play on contraband for people in the trippy, kind of psychedelic mental health, mindfulness, and sort of outlier entrepreneurial spaces. These are folks who are creating lots of new things in Web3 or NFTs, art, writing sort of books that, are work at the intersection of, let's say, psychedelics, therapy, mental health, and sort of esoterica. And it's something that I'm personally really interested in and excited about. It's a small little project, but again, for those of you who don't know, this new brand is really this marketing agency that we're creating that is targeting these sorts of folks. So one of the things that I've always preached, and I certainly have tried to live up to in my own kind of entrepreneurial interest or things that I'm actually doing in the world, is creating these sorts of authority sites or marketplaces or sites that attract attention from the exact audience that I want to cultivate as clients. So one of the things that we're doing with that in mind is creating an NFT marketplace for trippy art, for psychedelic art, for people who are creating mind-bending sort of outlier art that explores the intersection of mindfulness, mental health, psychedelics, personal growth, spiritually transformative experiences, and stuff like that. So I'm doing it on WordPress, and I'm not a huge fan of building these sorts of sites on WordPress anymore, but for this particular project, for a bunch of reasons, this is the ideal approach for us, at least in the summer of 2022. Now, I want to make a couple things really clear. I'm not trying to build a site that is actually going to be, um, you know, doing a lot of NFT or crypto transactions. I think that approach is rife with potential problems and heartaches and headaches. What I am trying to do instead is building a site where people in my ideal audience, people who are our quintessential clients, can actually list their products for sale, and we will send that traffic to the more mainstream NFT marketplaces like OpenSea or LooksRare, or even to their sites directly themselves. So, for those of you who paid any attention to my videos on marketplaces, my preferred approach is always to send traffic to the actual vendor or client themselves, rather than try to transact the business on your own site and then give folks a cut or work out some kind of commission. It just gets it to be a headache very, very quickly. But all that aside, I want to show you how this can be done on WordPress without these like really heavy duty, kind of page builders, and why this particular approach for us is great. So we're actually going to build this entire site very quickly using shortcodes. As you can see, all of these are different NFTs within the community. This is just filler content right now. But I really like the design of this, and I'm going to show you. I want you to see the whole thing so you can actually see how quickly and easily this can be modified. Of course, my computer is now freezing up a little bit, but this is all a pretty attractive site that I'm building entirely with shortcodes, and rather than these kind of Elementor or all these convoluted, bloated page builders, which to me are really, really challenging to use as a non-designer, non-developer. So what was really important to me was to have modular content that we could really quickly modify for our own purposes. And again, the other nice thing about this whole project is that we've registered a bunch of domains that are really relevant to, have NFT and the different sort of target audiences that we have in mind. So trippy art is one of them. Trippy NFTs is another one. Trippy hippie. We have trippy therapy. Just a bunch of these sites that are registered and ready to be used for these sorts of projects. And what I was going to say a minute ago is the nice thing is, even if the marketplace doesn't fly, we can build, and I'll come right back to this, I promise, in a second, but we can build this sort of site for an individual artist who's selling NFTs. That's never going to fail. And then you can just sell it, or we would just sell it to a individual artist who wants a high value domain like Trippy Art or Trippy NFT or Trippy Therapy. Or Trippy Therapy is a little bit of a different thing that I'm working on, but it's all within the umbrella of this Contra brand agency. Okay, so going back to this, because people in our private course cohort are asking about designing the sites and what the easiest way to get this up and running is without using, kind of complicated, WordPress page builders. And this is why shortcodes to me are the best solution, right, for non-tech folks. And it actually paradoxically looks a little bit more complicated if you're looking at this and have no idea what these things are. But this is basically the editor. This is the home page, and all of these shortcodes are integrated within the Gutenberg block editor. So if I go here and I add a block and I just pick shortcode, I can take any of this content here and let's say and duplicate it, and then you can actually add logic to all this stuff, like you can pull specific categories or specific content, but I'm not even going to do that here. I'm just going to show you. It's going to add this whole other collection at the bottom of the page. So this is a series of NFTs that are showcased right now. This is ideal. It's like almost like a featured listing if you're familiar with the directory or marketplace style approach where people are paying for prominent placement on your site. As we scroll down, you're going to see that new collection is featured again at the bottom. Where is it? Or maybe I added the wrong one. I probably added collections twice rather than. Let's see. Let's go back and see. So you see all of this content can be moved very simply, again, using the editor and the shortcut itself. So let's click on this and let's move that up. Let's move that down. Let's move the FAQs if I can find them. Where are they? Maybe they're hiding here, and they are. Let's move those up. And let's start changing around some of the text so you can see all this is being edited within the shortcode itself. So where it says new Fox 90 collection available, I'm going to change this to right, that'll stand out pretty much. You could, if I want to, I could change the banner right here. I could change the link right here to where it's pointing. And let's say this was a featured artist that we wanted. All right, here are the latest NFTs, and this is all being pulled from WooCommerce products, which makes this really, really appealing. Right, it's all really modularized or modular, and you can create all these complicated pages without any page builders, without any of this drag and drop kind of nonsense. So this is a banner. Oh shit, what did I just do there? I think I might have messed that up. So let's see if I messed it up. I think I might have deleted the quote. Let's do this. One thing you do have to worry about a little bit, as I'm illustrating here, is you don't want, once you start, like if you remove a bracket or something like that, you can really screw up a shortcode, right? So, but this is going to be an image, right? So there's an image right there, the JPEG. This is the title. This is where you change the color to white, you change it to dark. All these are the way the shortcodes are design. So let's see. So I move the FAQs up. Here's Ian's YouTube example for Marketplace Design. Highly recommend Joe's stuff. This is a banner image that I just placed into the homepage. And again, this could be placed on any secondary page as well to promote an individual artist, individual collection, an OpenSea collection, a another community that you're working with as a brand, right? So if you have a good amount of traffic on a site like this, you could just create these banners that promote partners, platforms as well. And let's see if I can find, here's another image here. And again, this image is purely generated with this shortcode. All right, so I might have edited text there that's not, doesn't show up. That's actually just like descriptive text for the search engines. Let's go to the Trippy Art Club. All right, so this is a collection, and you can see all of this is completely editable the same way. These really legitimately are using WooCommerce, and it makes it really, really easy to, to do all this stuff, right? So rather than, you can change the text here. It says get yours once in a lifetime. That's the background. You can change that. Let's update that. This picture will still be there with a new background, and you'll have a little bit more data. And again, this is just a WooCommerce. So the picture is actually not kind of showing up here, but you can see 12 ETH, get yours, Discord is hopping, join us, right? And this describes the collection. And then here's a Twitter link. I could link to the Discord. I could link, if you click on this here, it'll link to my Twitter page because that's how I just set that up. All right, and there's me. Okay, so let's go back. And all of the NFTs that you add into this collection will be counted in that collection, right? So you can, so as you can see here, product categories are collections in this particular theme, which again makes this really, really useful for organizing and categorizing your, the products or the NFTs that you're featuring on the site. This is the really like kind of power move that most people don't do on their marketplace sites, and this is where you're changing the way this product is being fulfilled from being purchased on the site to being purchased on, let's say, OpenSea, right? So if I add in and I update this, and there you have it, right? So the key is to link to the individual listing within OpenSea rather than obviously generically the home page. But, obviously I'm just kind of making this up on the fly. Let's actually change this to and it still links to the same place, but now we're just changing the text so it's not quite as bulky. Right, and this is just my OCD, right? So now it says bid NFT rather than, and it just looks more aesthetically appealing. And then the other thing you can do with this is you can go into the settings and change the currency to to ETH rather than to US dollars. All right, we're not going to do that here, but this is where you'll give your site the appearance of a real kind of NFT marketplace, where everything is set up to look like an OpenSea or a LooksRare, where all the prices are in ETH. The reason I know people ask this, the reason that I prefer to drive the traffic elsewhere, is at least for now, rather than having a MetaMask integration, which you can do with this theme. This also has a multi-vendor setup, which you can essentially allow your users to upload their own products. I tend to that's not the approach that I really prefer with this sort of site, but certainly you can build a niche related OpenSea or LooksRare or Magic Eden or any of those sorts of marketplaces using the multi-vendor plugin and having transactions either via MetaMask, or even there are plugins that you can use that will allow you to do these transactions on WooCommerce using cryptocurrency. But it's just less hassle when you're linking out, because you're not taking any risk. There's no risk of getting hacked or anything like that. You're essentially driving all of your traffic as almost like an affiliate to, it's like an affiliate marketing NFT site, which to my eye is a much better way of attracting clients. I'd much rather get clients who are paying me thousands of dollars either in fees or in services or in fair trade, like giving me access to valuable NFTs, that they are creating, that I believe in, rather than worrying about making a small commission on the site of a sale that potentially, I don't have the expertise to, bolster security and do all the things that are required for this sort of community. You can see all the ways that, these, OpenSea today just sent an email to me saying that my email had been part of a, sort of a phishing, or had been, my email was part of a data hack, and to be mindful of, phishing and this and that and getting spoofed and all that sort of thing. I have no interest in being part of creating that sort of site. I don't have the skills to secure a site like that, nor is it my interest. My interest is to build these communities of people who I can serve using whatever expertise I do have, and then using my natural skills, communicating, writing, teaching, being, service oriented, being, persuasive or whatever, all those sorts of things to help other people build their brands as artists and entrepreneurs. I'm not really interested in building an Etsy for this niche, but I am interested in building something that promotes many, many artists and builds a lot of goodwill and the appearance of expertise that allows me then to sell our contraband marketing services and courses and all that sort of stuff to that same community. And like I said, if it turns out to be a flop, because we've registered the domain names, which is something I always preach as well, you can just sell the site, right? You can just sell the site to an individual artist or a small collective of folks who are interested in creating a psychedelic-oriented NFT site, or a therapeutic Web3 community, or a art community that represents just like weird, eccentric, exotic art. You register the domain name, you build the site, you're improving the asset with the asset being the domain, with a real, a site like this, and you can't lose, right? I mean, as of right now, the transactions, as you see here, they are $4, 0 collectors, and active members is just me, right? Obviously, that's something that I did in jest, just to, for shits and giggles for the 2 or 3 people who are looking at this, just to make people laugh. But as this thing grows, it'll be, a lot of fun to watch evolve. And if it fails, I have a backup, sort of plan, which is just to sell the site to someone who will make good use of it down the road. Okay, so I'm going to be covering the growth of this in our private community. If you're interested in joining us and learning how to work in the Web3 NFT space as a marketing consultant, as a leader, as a influencer, a word that I hate, but as someone who's built an authority site and has the appearance of expertise in that particular niche, feel free to reach out. And, we have a small group of people. It's not going to be more than 10 over the summer who are going to be part of this project. And if you want to join us and build something great, reach out to me. I'll share some details with you, and you can see if it's a good fit. Okie doke. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. By the way, I may do a couple more videos showing you how to customize this particular theme, but as a matter of principle these days, I'm not really doing a lot of WordPress-based tutorials anymore. It's just not my interest. I do like to inspire people with the potential that these simple solutions have, but doing like full kind of like blow-by-blow tutorials on how to make edits to WordPress themes simply ain't my expertise. It's not my interest, and I've kind of had to draw a hard line for myself and say I'm just not going to do it anymore because so many people are asking me for these tutorials. I'm just simply not, I'm not expert at it, and it's not enjoyable to me. But hopefully you've at least gotten the idea that you can build something like this for yourself in whatever area you are passionate about, and position yourself as an expert in the Web3, NFT, or artistic spaces, which to my eye are going to explode in the next couple of years in ways that we can't yet even fully fathom. And I think the fact that as I record this, in the end of 2000 or the end of June 2022, on the last day of June, that there's never been a better time really than right now, or at least recently there's never been a better time, simply because the whole market is melting down. And rather than panicking, it's the best time to assert yourself and to become a builder and to become an innovator, rather when things are low and people are panicked and in fear, because that's when most of the people kind of head for the hills, and the smarter, more resourceful amongst us builds, because it will bounce back, and when it does, position to be in the lead rather than trying to catch up. Okay, thanks so much as always for watching, and have a wonderful day.